Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Hanisa. I'm from Uni Section 3. So I'll be going on with the introduction of the company we have chose, which is Waste Management. Right, so Waste Management, it is founded at 1968 by these three individuals, Wayne Husega, Dean Buttrock, and Larry Back. So coming up with the real origin of how was it influenced to become a big company as Waste Management. Okay, so coming back with Wayne Husega, he is basically the descendant of Harm Husega. So Harm Husega, he is a Dutch immigrant. So at 1893, he began his collection for sale for $1.25 per wagon, and then it becomes a business and goes on. Right, so going on with the company's facilities and power plants, or what kind of things they have. Okay, so they have 346 of transfer stations, 293 of landfill disposal sites, 146 of recycling plants, 111 of beneficial use landfills for gas project, and 6 power production plants. So being as a public company, a company is bound to have rivals and stuff. So their most common rival, the well matched with them, is Republic Services Incorporation. Right, so at around 1993, the company has changed its name for temporary. It was WMX Technologies, and until goes change. The fraud was found at once the new CEO takes over, and then he goes through with the statements, the book of the bookkeepings and everything. They found there is a restatement around 1976 until 1992, where it was about 1.7 billion, and that has been the hugest misstatement around at 1998. Right, so going on with the achievements has the company had. Alright, so in 1972, the company has achieved more than 133 achievements, such that they got 60,000 of commercials in 19 states. That includes Ontario and Quebec. And the company is able to achieve about 82 millions of. So at 1999, John E. Dury has stepped down being the chairman as due to the brain surgery, and has been taken over by Rodney R. Pronto. They are able to overcome all of those negative stuff and everything. They have implemented new kinds of technologies so that the companies are able to control the internal controls and stuff, and the company has been doing well till the day now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and my name is Muhammad Azmi, and I'm here to continue with my part, the nature of fraud of the Waste Management Incorporation. And they did the fraud, they committed the fraud worth $490 million. So the people that involved in this case included the CEO of the company, Dean Buttrock, and there are some officers were included too. The name is Philip Rooney, Thomas Howe, James Corning, Herbert Getz, and Bruce Tobackson. And they didn't use the accounting practices by the GAAP. And the example of the fraud they did was they refusing to record expenses to write off failed projects. And they also lied to their shareholders, so it makes them they recorded the fake expenses. They cost them $1.17 billion, and they also failed to pay the income taxes too. So in order to eliminate the $490 million worth of operating expenses, so the government declared the company unqualified audit report and sued them for $7 million.
My name is Matt. I'm going to present my part, which is how the waste management company fraud was discovered. The waste management company fraud is a massive accounting fraud, which is about $490 million. That and that's made it the biggest fraud in the company history. Let's start with accounting book fraud. book fraud that are using improper accounting practice, and it's not acceptable to GAAP, generally acceptable accounting principle. The waste management was discovered by the new CEO, Maurice Mayer, and the new management team that were recruited in 1997. They demand that they need to analyze previous accounting book to make sure everything was accurate and correct. From the analysis financial record, CEO and management team find 1.7 billion pre-tax income is incorrect. This scandal affect the company badly. They had no choice but to merge with USA Waste Service. But sadly, it failed miserably and resulted with waste management being charged with 1.2 billion. Things only got worse as they lost over 6 billion in market value investment, and also many of their shareholders sued them due to the greediness and fame, which was all they had to desire for, has eventually brought to such a grief and the company fall. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jayshree and I will continue for how the fraud was discovered. So we know that this fraud was discovered because the new CEO and the new management team had checked the previous account books, and then they found that $1.17 billion was wrongly stated in pre-tax incomes. So the type of fraudulent activity that had been detected was for depreciation. So depreciation is a type of cost that has been incurred on the asset that eventually decreases the asset value over time. In order to maintain their asset value, waste management avoided to depreciate their asset over time, such as depreciation on garbage trucks. As the depreciation for asset had been controlled by the higher ups, it shows that the asset value and living of the item was extended more than it was supposed to. The next fraudulent activity that was found was the written off costs. So for the waste management, though at that time were quite a successful company, they had a few failed projects. So the company, however, they didn't want to state that they were in a loss, so they did not write off the failed projects as expenses. The next is for taxes and incomes. So what they did was, to avoid paying taxes, they purposely misstated their profits and everything so that they would be charged a significantly lower tax. That's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Sneha Arivanan. Today I would like to present about auditing assignment. My part for this assignment is audit risk model. First of all, control risk. Control risk is that the likelihood the money statement are materially misstated thanks to failure within the system of control employed by a business. Once they are important, management failures, a business is a lot of doubtless to expertise and registered quality losses. That means that its money statement could reveal a profit once they truly a loss. The manager of a business are answerable for coming up with implementing and maintaining a system of control that adequate for preventing the loss of asset. Secondly, detection risk. Detection risk is that the chance the degree auditor will not notice a material statement throughout the client cash statement via audit procedures. This could be notably probably once they square measure several misstatements that square measure several immaterial. The auditor is guilty for managing detected risk, the quality of detected risk area until a unit usually reduced by conducting more substantive tests. Likewise, as by assignment the foremost older workers to degree audit, sample of the test which can be conducted square measure, classification testing, completeness testing, prevalence testing, and valuable testing. Erratic is one altogether part that comprise audit risk. That's the chance that degree in appropriate audit opinion area unit issued. The alternative to part square measure inherent risk and management risk. Thirdly is inherent risk is the probability of loss supported the character of associate, organization, business which not change to the surrounding. The conduct could also be applied to the financial statement of an organization, where inherent risk is taken into consideration to be the danger of statement due to the existing transactional error of fraud. We have three inherent risk, which is judgment, estimate, and complicity. That's all. Thank you.
Good evening to my sir and my fellow friends. I'm Vishiran Satishalan. My metric number is UDE 190226. Okay, now I will continue with my presentation of materiality of waste management. Okay, for the materiality of waste management, we need to know about what is the materiality, the methods of the materiality, and the findings. Okay, first I would like to talk about the materiality. What is the materiality of waste management? Okay, there is a company's money performance are fairly presented, data material if it's misstated or omitted, and then influence people's economic decision, whether it's internal user or management or stakeholder, and etc. The next is method of materiality. Okay, first is materials are identified and are reviewed based on GR aspects. Okay, benchmark against key companies peers, and then companies previous statement are used for analysis. Okay, that is where we can conclude with the customers feedback are replicated. It's maybe a false statement or increase in number. And then inventory of stock, we can classify with the inventory of stakeholders, customers, or primarily NGO. Okay, where there's a survey of stakeholders, over 4 crores of that customer, where the functional administers and subject material consult. Okay, the next is tendencies of material. Okay, for tendencies of material, we can clarify like material review and annual review. Okay, where is engaged with property of accounting standard board, as we called SASB, and then modification reported as being dynamic characteristic. There we can mixture of services or free supplementation, example location in dense population. And then depth created area of unit in GRI context, that's for specialized audience only. And then the last is area of unit of customers orientation, that will be extend the utility of reportage.
Hi sir, I am Madhunisha, UD section 3. Today I am going to proceed with my part conclusion for waste management. Overall, it may be said accounting fraud as observed at waste management company may have a critical effect on customer, employee of business, creditor, inverse, and regulatory market, and even on the vice preparators. Waste management will happen when it comes to running business. There need to be strong work ethics, code practice. In the case of the waste management, it was the greed of the higher management that caused their downfall and her company as their whole liability, but fraud is never the answer. Okay. To remove the element of fraud, it would have been to replace other officers such as the CFO and COA, who have more direct control on the company for financial management, as the all involved in the committing the fraud at waste management. Additionally, within include achieving high profit and earning. That will provide an opportunity for the people working at waste management to produce the fraud as mentality of gaining large income and earning as being instilled in their minds. With it, stop people at the waste management will be against some sort of fraud being produced.